Alright guys, so this is going to be part 2 of I Want to Be Evil by Eartha Kitt. But I'm not going to talk about this video anymore. I'm going to talk about, obviously female nature, what women are doing today. And, I think a lot about, I've been going through a rough breakup with an ex. And as a man, we love possessively and etc. So, I got a lot of pain from that. A lot of the pain that I have is I remember, the times that we used to have. I remember good times with her. I remember how she used to be happy and certain things like that. But then, as things do in life, they get corrupted, they fall apart, people change, people do dirt, people become selfish, they get different motives, etc., and all those things and more happened to our relationship. But there was good parts about her, but there was a lot of negative, there was a lot of wickedness about her as well. And the sad part is that we couldn't have made it work because she didn't want to participate in the challenges of a real relationship. She wanted to go chase her beta, docile, simp man who had the house and the income and just be his little whatever, and then slap a label on that of love. When in reality, I know all about her dirty past, and she used to spend a lot of time with me. And now she's spending her time with him, right? And this is how women do. They spend time with you, and then 2 years down the road, they'll be spending time with somebody else. That's how women roll. But on that note, I want to show you guys some stuff here. And this is real interesting. This guy really has a good perspective, and he understands certain things that some guys get, and you really have to pay attention to be this informed. You really have to pay attention to life. You have to pay attention to certain details, certain theories, certain exposés of certain things in order to really have this kind of insider knowledge. So this guy is somebody I follow every once in a while. He'll write some brilliant stuff about women, and he looks at it from a religious, biblical perspective, right? So he says this is where it starts. Satan trains her to worship herself. Satan trains her to be self-centered, yet he silently mocks her and says, "This is what I am going to do with you in your life. I am going to use you as my doll in my temple, and you will have a horse. You will determine to be as entitled as you can be, and you deserve it. You are a woman, and this is your fortune. Your fortune. Worship yourself." Then she hears from her worshiping daddy saying, "You are my little princess. You are the most beautiful girl in the world." Oh, she gets worship even from her daddy. Look how she is trained by the devil to be her temple prostitute, who will inevitably feel entitled by her gender to use a man as a horse and to worship herself. Jesus, that is so true. Holy cow. Look at what he says. So this is how they train young women. They train them by using dolls. This is predictive programming, subliminal brainwashing. Oh, you're a doll, you're a rock star, you can be all these different things, whatever you want to be. You can be a princess, you can be a doctor, you can be a model, you can be a mom, you can be a graduate. Look at all these things, and it's packaged in this in this, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? It's subliminal programming, because they're training her to worship herself. And then they got all these horses and these dolls. Well, he doesn't do this isn't so obvious, but you got to understand where it comes from and where it's going. It starts with dolls. It starts with this, and it's packaged in this like, well, women should have a positive image, positive self-image, right? That's how it's packaged. But what it turns into is it turns into self-worship. Oh, she's so beautiful. It's all about beauty, and then it becomes. And you notice that not a lot of women have a very developed sense of morality. Not a lot of women have a very developed sense of right and wrong. And not a lot of women have a very developed sense of their place in the world. They're very self-centered. It's very easy for women to be narcissistic. Why? Because they are trained from a young age to be self-centered. And this is what he says here. Satan trains her to worship herself. Satan trains her to be self-centered. How does he do that? He uses these programming, these tools. This is a doll, and it seems innocent. Oh, well, we're trying to be positive, and we buy our daughter dolls so that she can be, she can be what she wants to be, a rock star, a doctor, a model, a graduate. She can be a ballerina, she can be a princess, she can be a construction worker, she can be a fashionista, right? It's all these different things. She can be a mom. How's that bad? Because it's training her to be self-centered from the very beginning. To worship herself. It's all about me. It's all about me. And they got these horses, right? Oh, I'm riding on a horse. I'm a princess on a unicorn, right? And then from there it goes to, you're so beautiful. Wear all this makeup. And you got to be beautiful. And so it's this narcissistic training. And then from there, who do you got after that? You got Rihanna. Who do you got after that? You got Kesha. So starts off with Barbie dolls, right? Then it graduates to Beyonce. Then it graduates to Mariah Carey. Graduates to all these divas and these singers. And what are they singing about? Singing about sex. What are they singing about? They're singing about being powerful and being beautiful and using their beauty, and guys want me, and da-da-da. This is all subliminal programming to sexualize the girl, train her to be self-centered, train her to be narcissistic. This is predictive programming. I believe this is how Satan works. This is how he starts to corrupt. Where does it go from there? Goes from there to sleeping around. Goes from there to using sex as your bartering tool. Goes from there to doing porn. It goes from there to all the negative things, right? And he's been on a roll. Every single time a man worships a woman, Satan uses him to lead her to self and to trust in her good and her righteousness. And in this way, he can keep her back on the cross. Men have worshipped men into hell. What he means by that is the women become a replacement for God. The woman says, oh, you put me on a pedestal. I'm going to be your leader, and it's my word that goes. I'm the queen. This is also subliminal programming. This is also narcissism that stems from that I'm the prize frame that these women have, because every guy wants to fuck them, and they don't have checks and balances in society. It starts with daddy, who says, you're the most beautiful girl in the world. You're my princess. You can do no wrong. Right? This is all how it happens. My God tells me that when a woman walks around in her sex appeal and her high heels with the attitude that she is entitled to have men fall at her feet, whom she pierces with her right heel, she uses that right heel as a satanic sword to be like God. Only God can crush under his right heel. Yet these women wants to wear Satan's sword under her heel. Watch, women, it's coming. It's already been here, bro. It's already been here. That song, a 1960 song, these boots are made for walking, and I tell you what they'll do. One day these boots are gonna walk all over you. Right? It's a famous old song. Who do you think that was about? It's about feminism. Who do you think wears those boots? Feminists. Who do you think played that song in their feminist rallies? Feminists, women. He's right. Women walks around in her sex appeal and her high heels with the attitude that she is entitled to have men fall at her feet. Bingo. That's what happens. It starts here. Got to give them positive self-image. They're beautiful. They know their place in the world as beautiful women. They can be whatever they want to be. Woo! And they got their horse, and they're riding their horse. And who becomes their horse? The men. Just like he said, the men become the horse. She pierces with her right heel. These boots are made for walking, and I'll tell you what they'll do. One day these boots are gonna walk all over you, right? That's what it is. Her right heel. She uses that right heel as a satanic sword to be like God. These women are falling at these women. These men are falling at these women's feet, and the women are walking all over the men, and they're walking around like gods. When I first started dating about 10 years ago, one thing that stuck out to me was I got the impression that women wanted worship. They wanted to be worshipped. And it's because of gynocentrism. That's why. It's because they got an overblown sense of self-accomplishment for just existing. Just breathing, because men will give them that validation constantly. Oh, you're so beautiful. You're perfect. You're perfect the way you are. You're perfect no matter how many sex partners you've had. You're perfect no matter how bad your personality is. You're perfect no matter how fat you are. You're perfect no matter how bad your character is. No matter how much you lie. You're daddy's little girl. You're perfect. You can do no wrong. This is all subliminal programming to teach these women that their shit don't stink. That they're different than men. That they're better than men. To teach women that they rule. And this is satanic programming. The woman is now the head of the man, not the man the head of the woman. Satan hates those verses in the Bible that say the man is the head of the woman. He wants to turn it around, flip the script, and he wants women to rule. And that's what we see, and that's what this is.